Hi everyone, this is Startup Bright, and this is the place where we talk all things startups related. This is where founders talk about their companies, their ideas, share their goals, and talk about their teams. We have today Stacey with us, and she will present Paperpinecone. And I want to start with asking you to tell a little bit about yourself. Like, who are you? How did you come up with this idea?
Well, I am mom of a 3-year-old and with a background in marketing agencies. I took some time off to be with my daughter and went through the preschool search process with her and found it incredibly frustrating. I was going to Google and spending hours looking at preschool websites that just didn't have the content that I was looking for, just basic information, hours of operation and ages accepted. And I thought there had to be a better way, and other parents were saying the same thing.
Okay, so you very much decided to come up with a solution for a problem that you personally experienced, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Not just me, but my peers were echoing it.
Do you think there are other people, enough other people and parents that are looking for this kind of solution?
Absolutely. I think right now there's kind of this cycle, this wait list cycle. So parents will tell you that you have to put your name on wait lists for preschool and daycare before the baby's even born, while you're still pregnant. And it's simply not true when 50% of providers are operating below capacity, and that number is 82% for providers with 20 plus locations. So the openings are out there, parents just aren't finding them.
So there is a problem to find, not that there is no enough spaces or places for preschool.
Yes, for preschool. Infant care is difficult, but for preschool itself, there are openings, absolutely.
Okay. Do you want to tell or pitch your company now? We give you 5-6 minutes, whatever actually you need. Are you ready? You feel like you can? Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
So I launched Paperpinecone after my own frustrating preschool search. I spent hours searching Google. I was going to preschool websites, just looking for basic information I needed to know to decide if I was going to even tour a school, hours of operation, ages accepted, schedule, tuition, and I just couldn't find it. Terminology was inconsistent from site to site. So full-time at one school meant 7 to 6, and at another school meant 9 to 2. Well, 9 to 2 was full-time for a 2-year-old, but not for a working parent. Then I went through tour scheduling, and that was another headache. There was just so much back and forth between the schools just to come in and see the place. And in looking at home programs, I couldn't find Facebook pages, let alone websites. So other parents were saying the same thing, and I just kept looking, like, where was the Zillow of preschools? Where was the open table for tour booking? And it just didn't exist. I could not find a site that had the content I was looking for. So I decided to create it, and thus launched Paperpinecone. It's seemingly a simple concept. We're a centralized directory of preschool, daycare, and before and after school programs. And we provide parents all of the information they need to create a short list of providers. We also have online tour booking enabled. We give them a list of places with current openings and future openings, and also a list of events and open houses going on at these places. I think what really sets us apart, what we're doing that nobody else is doing, is helping the providers. So right now they have little to no data on the parents searching for care. They might ask some questions when a parent comes in for a tour. They might get some analytics from Yelp, but they don't have quality information. And that's really where we're stepping up the game. So we're collecting data from parents who use our site, everything from zip code and child's date of birth, budget, desired enrollment date. We're taking that information and we're taking their user behavior on the site. So what information they're looking for, what are their priorities, and we're giving that to the schools. And that allows them to create actionable items. They can take that information and tailor their messaging and improve conversion rates. We're also giving them their competitive set, which isn't something they've had before. I think, there's this waitlist cycle. So parents say that preschool is impossible to find. There are 5-year wait lists, and get on your wait list before your baby's even born. And I think there are preschools, absolutely, that are harder to get into than Harvard. But for the most part, you can access them. There's a great program down the block that might have space, and you just don't know about it. And maybe the director isn't great at marketing, or there's a new owner, or a family backed out at the last minute and they didn't have someone on their wait list to fill the spot. But for whatever reason, these parents that are looking for care are not getting connected to the preschools that have openings. And that's really where we come in. We're the tool for both the parents who need care and for the providers who have the space. We work on a freemium model, so we're free to search, and providers get a basic profile page and a single photo at no cost. Then we have 3 subscription tiers for the providers. Our first tier enables the online tour booking. It gives them the opportunity to list their openings, list their current and future openings, list their events and open houses. Our second tier is an enhanced media package, and what we found is that the longer a parent engages with a profile page, the more likely they are to tour a school. So this gives the provider up to 10 photos and a video on their page. We'll also give them premium placement in search results and promote their school on our social media pages. And then our top tier is really the most beneficial, and that's our data analytics package. Paperpinecone is really poised for growth, and as we grow, we'll continue adding service offerings for our providers. So one of the things we're looking into now is adding curriculum planning for home-based daycares who just don't have the resources that the large centers have. We're also actively looking for a childcare software provider. So right now that space is really booming. So the Bright Wheels, the ProCares, the Hi Mamas, they manage the preschools on the software end. And we're looking for the right provider to partner with to give that to our customers as well. The other really exciting thing is that we're looking into other verticals that we can expand into. The natural extension would be summer camps and private elementary schools. But one area that's really of interest to us is the senior care market. It's growing exponentially as baby boomers age and retire. And right now, the directories in that space really don't do a good job for the people searching. They're referral systems. So they're great for the facilities, but they're not necessarily trustworthy for the people searching for care. So that's an avenue that we're exploring as well. We are actively growing. We're expanding to other cities rapidly, and we'll be national soon.
Okay, right. Sounds good. Interesting, because I myself experienced this kind of problems. My kids are older now, but definitely searching for information is not easy, and usually what happens, you go through friends, word of mouth, and if somebody decides to go to a specific preschool, pretty much everybody tries to go there. I want to ask you a little bit more to elaborate on the data analytics part. What do you offer? Is that oriented to providers, or that is oriented to parents?
To providers.
To providers.
So when a parent comes to our site, they register and they give us their name, email address, child's date of birth, desired enrollment date, budget as mandatories. And then we have optional questions: household income, rent or own, plans to move in the next 2 years, and if they're interested in private kindergarten. From there, we track the user behavior on our site and allow preschools to download that directly. So for example, if a parent comes and searches by their zip and then filters by the Montessori philosophy and the hours of operation, 7 to 6, a school can look to see, okay, I understand that parents want care for longer periods of time, or that this particular parent is only looking at Montessori schools. So I know that I don't have to sell the Montessori concept, I need to sell my Montessori school, versus a parent who comes and they're looking at Montessori and Waldorf and Reggio. A school might have to work harder to sell the overall philosophy versus their school. The other thing we're doing is giving them their competitive set. So any other provider that an individual reached out to through our site or booked a tour with, the school gets that information. So they'll actually have what other schools the people are looking at, and that's information that they can only guess at now.
From your presentation, I understand that you already have a product, right?
Correct.
You have a website running, and do you have active users? Do you have people that are registering and searching?
Yes, we do. So we launched our MVP in Los Angeles, and Seattle is actually launching any day now. We're just working out some tech bugs and Portland is launching in October. Given that it was our MVP, we haven't been doing as much data collection as we
would like to.
Yeah. But now that that's in place, anyone that comes to our site now is now registering.
I see. And if it's not proprietary information, do you know what kind of platform you're using for that?
That the site is built on?
Yeah.
It's built in Drupal with custom code.
Okay. Before the interview, we talked about your team, and you mentioned that you may be looking for more technical people to expand your team. Can you talk a little bit more about it with us?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, my background is in marketing, not tech. So this has been quite a learning process for me, and I think it's in our best interest to bring in a tech co-founder. And I've started that process, I just haven't found the right person yet. I want to make sure that that this person is going to grow with us and be the right person to kind of take us to the next level.
Yeah, that's tough to find anybody that gets interested in your idea and help you develop it. Since you're a marketing person, how is going to be, do you have a marketing strategy? Can you share with us how you're going to get to your customers?
Sure. So word of mouth is actually huge for us. When a mom finds something that makes her life easier, she tells other moms about it. And that's actually been at the root of our growth so far. We haven't had to have a referral program. They've just been talking about us, which is phenomenal. It's what you hope for as a company. But beyond that, social is really at the root of our strategy. Mom influencers in various cities, getting connected locally with mom brands in various places. So anything from the local clothing store or the Mommy and Me music class, kind of at the next tier, the bigger parenting collaborations, places like RIE Parenting that do large parenting classes and things like that. It's a very targeted strategy. And then obviously Facebook ads, Instagram ads, things like that.
So have you done any research using any tools to get results from bigger audience about your idea? Like for example, SurveyMonkey or any other products like that?
Sure, we've used probably SurveyMonkey, I don't remember specifically if it was that brand, but to gather information both from parents and from preschools to figure out kind of where their pain points are.
So you said you're going to make money by offering 3 different tiers.
Correct.
Are you also looking into offering advertising on your website for providers?
Yes, it's being built now actually.
Okay.
So we'll have space, so currently we have homepage space for advertisers, for schools to buy as advertising. So therefore kind of premium placement on the homepage. But beyond that, we'll have ads within our search results and either schools can buy them or external companies.
Okay, so and at the moment, what are you looking for? You said you were looking for a tech person to be your co-founder. What else are you looking for to grow and build your startup?
A sales team, it's really important. As much as I can market, the cold calls, I do my best, but that's not my forte. And I'm really looking to bring in a strong salesperson to get on the phone to the providers.
Okay, so you're looking for a tech person and you're looking for a strong salesperson to join your team.
And they're even harder to find.
Yeah, I myself tried to get salespeople for the startup that I was building, and I realized that good salespeople don't agree to work only on commission.
No, they absolutely don't.
Yeah, so they have to have a minimum pay and on top of that commission and so on and so on. So are you looking for investment as well?
At this stage, yeah. I think, so we're pre-revenue right now.
How did you fund the website?
Self-funded.
You self-funded?
Yeah, and we've only invested about $30K so far to date. So not in too deep.
Okay.
Still have a kids' college fund. But so once we have kind of this next phase launched and Seattle launched in the next week or two, we'll have all our revenue pieces in place, our ways of making money, or at least some of them. So my hope is that once we have a little bit of revenue coming in, we can bring on a salesperson to expand quickly. Getting external money would allow us to be national much quicker than we will without an investment.
And you're looking for, do you have an amount in mind?
I'm looking for $500,000.
$500,000?
Yes.
And what is the deal that you offer to?
On a convertible note.
Convertible note.
Yeah.
Okay. 500,000, you're looking for 12 months runway or?
12 to 18 month runway.
12 to
yeah.
Okay. So here at Startup Bright, I always ask my guests to share with us interesting moments or funny situations, or I don't want to go with bad situations and downs. Something funny that you want to share with that happened with you. Want to share with?
I don't know how funny it is, but I launched the site and. Data monetization was always kind of part of our strategy, but it was kind of in the back of my head as something we would sell to kids' clothing companies or toy companies, parent data. 2:30 in the morning, my husband was out of town and my daughter woke up, and I went to deal with her. I got back into bed and I couldn't sleep. And sometime around 4 a.m. it dawned on me that we were missing an opportunity to sell data to the people that it was most valuable to. And that was the childcare providers. And I didn't sleep for the rest of the night, and I kind of drew up what this data analytics program would look like and started putting it to work the next day, getting the SOW and whatnot. So I guess it's really fortunate that my 2.5-year-old didn't sleep through the night, but I don't know if I would be in the place I am today if she hadn't woken up that night.
Well, sounds really good and interesting. I really hope that you have enough interest in your product and you find funding, because I definitely think this is a problem that needs to be solved. We will probably meet with you again in 3 or 6 months just to see how you've developed and what you have accomplished. I want to thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.